Bray. This is a video for Libba Bray's contest to win a role in the short story, or rather have my name used. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about the books and my obsession level about them, because I am quite obsessed. First of all, I found the books when they first came out, because I volunteered at the library, and I was 13, and it was amazing. I didn't actually get my own copy of A Great and Terrible Beauty until like a year later, so I just kind of kept getting it out of the library constantly. And eventually my mom was like, "Oh my god, buy your own copy already, because you're going to wear out the libraries." So I did. And this is what my copy now looks like. Oh yes, it is well loved. All of my Gemma Doyle books have these in them. And okay, you can see it here. Yeah, I'm just that obsessed. They each have a letter on them, either S, Q, or W. The S stands for scene, because I am a crazy theater geek, and I act things out. Yeah, and the Q stands for quote, because I think there's some really, really great quotes in these books. They're very inspiring and reflective of life and such. W is for word, mostly in Rebel Angels and A Great and Terrible Beauty, because I was writing my own sort of Victorian era story, 2005 or so, and the Speaker thing obviously had not come out yet, and there were some words or phrases that I wanted to remember to sort of keep me in the mood of the period. I love the Victorian era. It's been my favorite era since I was 6 or 7. I was a big fan of I am still a big fan of the American Girl stuff, and my favorite one was Samantha, and she's a Victorian girl, even though she doesn't live in the Victorian period, but she was born in it. And I was pretty interested in it then, and now that I don't read American Girl books anymore, I could have books of a higher reading level that can still kind of feed my obsession with the Victorian era. One of my favorite things about the story is the characters, and that might seem a little bit obvious, but there's so many books that don't have characters that you care about, and these really do. I related to Gemma right off the bat, and that's not something I always do. She just seems so much like me, especially our senses of humor. I speak sarcasm, and Gemma is very sarcastic as well. I felt like we were one. We were brain clones. I also have to say that I love that these books are so awesome that they have inspired clubs of sorts, the shebang. I know you've heard of them, Libba, because Grace has told you about them. That's just a group of friends who came together because of these books. Also, a couple of YouTube groups, I think you know about them. The Gemma Doyle 4, which was the original one, the Order Reborn 4, which was its sister site, and the GDT Conglomerations, which is starting on Sunday? Maybe it started last Sunday. I'm part of the Gemma Doyle 4 and the Order Reborn 4. I represent Gemma in Gemma Doyle 4 and Pippa in the Order Reborn 4. It's amazing, and the fact that we all care enough about these books to make videos discussing them and, you know, accepting crazy challenges that have to do with them, is just great. I will put the links to those sites in the sidebar, so you can go and check them out. They're a lot of fun, and I hope they get the word out, because these books should be read by everyone. I've lent them to a lot of my friends, and they really like them. Oh, I have to tell you about my adventure of getting this lovely book right here. I obviously knew it was coming out on December 26th, 2007, right? 2007? And I was desperate to get it. And I was on IMDb, and I heard that some people were getting it early. And I was like, I want my book early. I want to know what happens. So, I called up all of the bookstores in my area, and I have phone phobia, so this is like a huge deal. I finally called this one Borders, or no, it was Barnes & Noble, and got this kind of mean Russian lady on the phone, and I was like, I was wondering if you had the book that I'm looking for, and I was like, you know, terrified of this crazy Russian woman and whispering into the phone. And she told me that they had it out on the floor, and I was like, oh my god, are you serious? So I shoved my little sister into the car, and I was like, we're going to get this book, and this was the 22nd of December, and I drove, I think it was 45 minutes to get the book, and I like ran through the store, and I grabbed it off the shelf, and I danced through the aisles, and my sister hid from me because she didn't want to be associated with me. And yeah, I was really excited, and I'm actually a very fast reader, but I milked it, and I finished it on the 26th of December, and I loved it. So awesome. The other thing I really liked about them is that it has introduced me to other authors. Over the summer, I read, you know, I had seen Libba and Maureen's videos, and I decided to check out Maureen's books. And over the summer, I read the first one that I chose, 13 Little Blue Envelopes. And over the break, I bought the rest of her books, so I now own every single one. And I really like them. And I'm starting to read some John Green and stuff, and it's just cool. Possibly my favorite thing about these books is that they got me through my last year of middle school and high school. I remember the first day of 9th grade being on the verge of tears because I was so freaked out, and clicking this book and just like, oh my god, and you know, reading it for comfort and such. And this, oh my gosh, this book has been through everything. I had to glue the covers back together because it fell off. The cover's actually in very good condition. I must have taken it off. But anyway, I kept on reading them throughout high school, and now I'm in college, and they sit on my dresser, or rather by my bed usually, because I'm reading one of them. I just really like these books, and Libba, I'm really grateful that you wrote them because they are my favorite ever, and I can't wait for going bovine, and I hope you pick the name Rachel for your story. Thanks. Bye. Libba Bray's video, or heard of them, that blah 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 blah. Were I able to do that? I think so. What was the other letter?